You want me to be stable? Okay, we're live.
There we go.
So, yeah, I can be stable. Here we go.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Michelle Oliver. I'm here with the Coaching Collective and the amazing Pete Ambrosino, who is an international business coach. And I will become more stable in a minute. Here we go.
No worries.
I'm actually here in beautiful Steamboat Springs today, and I will tell you that ski season starts in 2 weeks. And yesterday it was 69 degrees. We went hiking in the Colorado sun and just gorgeous. So,
That's fantastic. There's so much to do in Colorado. It's such a great place. It was,
oh, it's so great.
oh my gosh, it was definitely, Colorado was high on the list of places that we wanted to relocate to, but it turns out it's going to be a place we visit.
Come
So
on, visit.
I know.
Look, I should show you where I am. I'm staying at the Sheraton actually, and you just walk out onto the gondola. It's not really that helpful when there's no snow, but it's a great location. So everyone should come to Steamboat. It's going to be amazing, an amazing season. But today is going to be an amazing conversation with Pete, because we are going to talk about small businesses. Okay, solopreneurs, let's ask you the question. Do you have a plan? Do you even know where you are in your business? So it's hard to have a plan when you don't even know. That's our topic of today. And I do apologize if I keep moving. So sorry, guys.
No, it's a great topic. And Michelle, when as small business owners, even if you have a small staff that you've been grateful and been able to build up to, we still don't take the time to step out of our business and say, okay, where am I at? What's going on in my business? What's going on in the industry? And what's going on with my clients? And how do I get to do more for them than anyone's willing to do right now? But the first step is, where are we really at in our business? I can kind of set this up, in let's say we look at XYZ business, and the owner is a owner operator, and he might have some staff and so forth. But when I ask this question, what numbers are you responsible to produce in your business?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever those numbers are, I can tell you exactly where you are in the organizational chart for your business.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if I have a salesperson and I'm in charge of their results, well, you know what? I'm actually the sales manager in my business. I might need to find somebody to replace me or add into the sales staff and be able to step out so I can concentrate on something bigger in my business.
Yeah.
And we don't take the time to actually think and step out and make an organizational chart. It's step one. What do you want to create? How does your business look in 5 years? And everybody talks about the 5-year plan. Well, it's super important, because you know what? Talking about what we talked about last week is how the emotions drive our decisions, right?
Yes.
Well, emotion caused you to, oh, sorry, that's my parrot Lily right there. I apologize. Emotions caused you to open your business and be an amazing entrepreneur and serve others, right? However, it's kind of a job if you don't have an exit strategy. So with all that in consideration, let's kind of look at where you really are. Where are you right now? What is a day in the life of you at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see going in the future? Let's even just go out 6 months and let's create that.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible stuff. Most people, when you sit and you're like, nah, nobody ever sat and spent the time with me to actually ask this question. I jumped into being an HVAC business or a plumbing business or a dog room, whatever it is, and I didn't really actually see it as I'm the business owner.
It's really interesting that we're having this conversation today, because I had a meeting earlier. I do a number of different things. Okay. Coaching primarily. But there's also this like investment side. And I was just telling this person, I never think about, and he started the conversation, but both of us have this approach that very often, like if you're buying a business, let's say, okay, or you're buying a property, it's never about just the investment in the business or the property. Like, and it's incredible how short-sighted people often are. They get all caught up in the weeds of that, but the whole purpose is then, so I think it's a beautiful tapestry of like the emotion and the organizational chart and the strategy and all of that, right? Because you have, I look at it like in chunks. So 5 years and 10 years. I can't just look at it as like this event. Okay, we're starting, we're buying the property or whatever. It's really about the 5-year chunk and the 10-year chunk and even further, honestly. But if you are a solopreneur and then you get into it because, oh, I love it, and it's the whole passion project thing, which is great, and I'm not making fun of it, and you will get it together really quickly if what you're doing works.
That's right.
Because you're going to have all of a sudden you're going to realize you're either going to die or you're going to hire someone.
See, and I want to honor you in what you just said about that you do multiple things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's an entrepreneurial curse, because then when is enough enough? Always, right?
No,
However,
I'm kidding. I don't know.
Here's how I want to honor you on that, because real estate can be looked upon that, hey, my coaching business, I want to build my coaching business or whatever my business looks like, help so many people, build a team, blow businesses up, whatever that looks like, right? But I need to carve out and have a plan to pay my future self first. You get into business and the mindset is, oh, I'll make my money back when I go and sell it. Well,
no way.
No, right? And that's where are you? And that's where the power of the question is to where you really are. And it's not just in business, but in all these facets of your life. Where are you? And what's the plan for each of these important chunks, like you said, right? How's my portfolio building? How's my business investments building? I'm partners in other businesses that I don't own. I own part of it, but I don't run the day to day. So I'm blessed to be a part of the operational side. Coaching and mentoring and building is my responsibility there, but completely out of the day to day, right? So my business portfolio, my real estate portfolio, my client portfolio, right? And this is where it can apply. That strategy has to apply to every business owner, because if you go through it with your blinders on and say, oh my God, the only way I'm going to make more money is to do more plumbing and help more people with leaky pipes. Whoa. That's a vicious cycle that we've got to break that, right?
Yes, this is such a great conversation. Honestly, I've been visiting business owners up here and interviewing some of them. And so it's always really intriguing to me, especially in resort towns where it is really tough because of a lot of reasons. Staffing, I mean, there's just all kinds of seasonality, all of these things. It's always fascinating to me which, like, restaurants in particular, or anything really, boutiques, coffee shops, it could be anything, which ones are just struggle and shut down. And I've lived in many resort towns and watched, you could predict, we were talking about patterns earlier, you could predict the cycle of how many businesses would close. But there's always a very small percentage that expand into multiple locations.
Yep.
And of course, that could there's so many contributing factors. I mean, it could just be they're well capitalized sometimes, but it's often, there you can see it in each location that they created a template and that they're re expressing this and it's working, and they're quick to let go of the stuff that isn't working. You can only do that if you have a bird's eye view. If you're in there like always the one, and I met with someone yesterday and I thought, man, I went back and saw her twice, because what I saw her doing was she's so blind by the grind.
Yes.
That's a
Blind.
good tagline.
I'm gonna write that
Blind by the grind. Blinded by the grind. And then what happens is you become really defensive. And I mean this with all due respect and love to every small business owner, but I've seen it so many times. You become really defensive because nobody understands how hard I'm working. Nobody understands, of course I have a vision, but you can't breathe. And that means you're probably putting out too many fires and too much energy in the wrong place to pull back and like sit down and say, okay, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to meet with Pete, breathe, and let him guide me for a minute.
I'll tell you an exact thing, because this ties into even a few podcasts ago when we were talking about time overwhelm, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And here's how, okay, when you actually find out where the client or where the business owner really is in their business, what they're in charge of doing, and what they would like to do to change it, right? When you give them the perspective that, hey, if you are working on your financials, your personal self, and your fitness and filling yourself up, and you're working on your sales strategy, anticipating clients, all those things that a business owner needs to be on, guess what you're worth per hour? And I said, you're worth $1,000 an hour.
Easily,
right? So you give that perspective and say, okay, what's the task that you're doing today? Is it $1,000 an hour task? Or where's my leverage? How can I leverage? Who do I need that I can put in place that can help me with this?
Man, it's so much about mindset. And I do this all the time. I think we're all guilty of this. I'll be doing something. I'm just like, I've done this for so many years. I can just do this. And then I realize that's a $15 an hour job. And do I really think I can do this better? I mean, can I accomplish this, whatever the task is? It's usually a marketing thing, because I think I can do it with my eyes closed. It's that idea of like when you have kids, and I'll tell you, the best parenting is always to take the time to teach your child, so that when your kids are my age, they don't need they cook for you. I mean, literally, like I don't have to do anything. But it's always in the moment easier to just do it yourself.
Well, and here's where I want to split that chunk up a little bit. You had said that my marketing I can do with my eyes closed. However, let's say I'm not really good at marketing or the mechanics of, going on Facebook and clicking and doing all this other stuff, which I'm really not. I don't really, highest and best use of my time, I cannot stand sitting in front of a computer.
Yeah, I get it.
Crazy. So you've mastered it. However, the $1,000 an hour task around that is the creativity of the message that you come up with that invokes the emotion of your ideal client. Now you're done.
You're exactly right. People hear what he said. and you're so right. You're absolutely right. And we all fall into it. And I think but honestly, the truth is, the more you allow yourself to do that, the easier it gets.
Oh, that's true.
And you just kind of protect your time more too, and that has so much to do with a clear vision of it. I mean, honestly, it always to me comes back to vision. Like if you don't have that vision, you're lost. You can't. prioritize.
You're 100% right. And I want to take it one step further. We carved out our marketing. You're so efficient at it because you've pretty much mastered the results that come from it by throwing out the right message, right time, right audience, so forth and so on, right? Here's where we all can fall short. When we're not looking at the business from even a 10,000 foot view, what I might encourage someone like you to do is to say, look, you've mastered this. I need you to document every single step that you take and create an SOP, standard operating procedure, around getting creative, getting marketing out, and the results that it produces. Now you have a template that is completely live, ever changing, ever improving, that you can now train somebody on. And not only it is double work to do that at the same time you're doing it, because you spend all this time, you get amazing results, but now I've got to focus on, okay, I've got to duplicate this and be able to train it.
Yeah.
That's
Thinking
the power of where you
bigger.
are.
I'm so sorry, I interrupted you. What
No,
did you say?
that's the power of finding out where you are and where's the gap.
Yes. And again, back to coaching, like having someone to connect with on these things. And most business owners, at least in my experience, are really good at not doing that. They just, you just need another eye.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be reluctant to share that. You know, it's like getting on the scale.
Yep.
If you're wanting to lose weight, it really hurts, you guys. I did that recently. It's extraordinarily painful, but it's also extraordinarily motivating. So, and then having someone to hold you accountable to where you want to go is the next part. So,
I'll tell you another case in point from a call just earlier today. This client I've had for a year and a half, almost 2 years right now. We got his business, all of his businesses, to the point where he now has a GM. I don't know if I brought this up to you before or not, but
I don't think so.
We found the right GM that is shares core values, sees the vision of, is building. And he sits there this morning and he says, Pete, I got to be honest with you. I'm like, dude, you better be honest with you, because I'm going to call you out if you're not. He's like, if, right now, if I wanted to, I could just kind of go in the office for a couple hours in the morning and just disappear for the rest of the day. I went, whoa, hold the phone, bud. This is not a good plan for right now. So we engaged in, okay, where are you? Here's where you are. Let's get an appreciation for how far you've come over this past year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now, what does your team need? What do they need from the leader, the visionary, the entrepreneur? Because he is all his box is complete entrepreneur, gets bored easy, has is ready, built something, gets bored, wants to build something else. And then just, okay, so I gotta get him super laser focused on this, right? So we spent the entire session. In fact, we probably put a good hour and a half in to the next top 3 things that need absolute focus to get the business to the next. And it was so neat to watch that unfold. And once I started, you know how it is. It's like it's because he knew it wasn't new information. It was just, to your point, bouncing it off someone else that they understand and feel exactly what you've been kind of thinking in the back of your mind for a month. And your coach just verbalized it and said, oh yeah, here you go. This is exactly what needs to happen right now.
That's so gratifying. I mean, you help him to get there, and this is like a major milestone. Yeah. But it's kind of like you show up on a new plateau if you're on a hiking trail in Switzerland or a steamboat or something, and then you look around and you're like, but you don't really know how to navigate the next
Yeah.
hill. And
Or
it may require rappelling or something like that. So, okay. So, as usual, I really enjoy this. I'm going to have to ask you to wrap us up today because I literally have to go.
that's okay. It's okay. I
I'm just,
appreciate every
this
minute
is,
we have
it's
together. I'm very,
terrible.
no, it's okay. I'm so happy you jumped on with me today. Um, the wrap up is the power in finding out where you are right now gives you the ability to take a step back and say, okay, what's the real big picture here? It's not making another million. Another million won't make me happy. It's
Mm,
now my needs are met. Is my future self taken care of? If all of a sudden something happens, the government changes the rules or the industry changes, Apple comes out with the iPad or the what was it, the iPod, right? The iPod put CDs out of business, right? So an industry change, right? And actually say, okay, what am I going to get excited for now? It's not the next million. I need the better story. And that's where the power of that question comes and
I
develops.
love it. Okay, Pete, I really do apologize for cutting this short today. We'll make up for it another time. And it's such, the thing is, it's always so simple,
Yep,
and it's as simple as everything is, it is difficult.
it is hard.
And that's why really without people and without mentors and without coaching,
Yep,
it's painful and it doesn't need to be that way.
yep. There's no doubt.
So,
And especially to your point about picking the right coach for you that has been there, done that, and
yes.
knows that, hey, I can easily say, hey, our top three focuses are this, but it could fall on deaf ears.
Exactly. And you don't need, maybe I shouldn't say this. You probably don't need another book. I
Right.
mean, I have read, I'll tell you right now, the thing about if you have that entrepreneurial curse brain or whatever, you probably are going to move faster and have more fun with another human that has been there. I know that it's really can be it can get to a point where there's just, it's not about more information. It's
No.
about leaning on other people's wisdom and having that community. Like I know you have groups, that community, the mastermind and wisdom and applying that knowledge. So, okay, we could go on and on forever. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. And anyone and everyone who wants to know about coaching, put a comment below, message me, message Pete. You can jump on his calendar. He's offering a free coaching call with him. That means no money, get on the phone and he'll chat with you, maybe even on Zoom. I don't know. Okay. It is an amazing day. Sending love to all of you. Thank you so much.